we were getting proper support from government.
What is proper support?
Proper support is when we need enforcement. When you need to have a police operation, because to ensure compliance, there's a cost element to it. So when we bring this to the attention of the regulator...
So how much is this cost? How much is this cost?
And the reason being that...
That's average, or is it... Why not 70?
Okay. That was...
Is it average or is it each?
Because you are collectively.
So according to that, we'll go to the audit report ya Kekobo. Sababu walikuwa na some interesting insights. Let's see. From the man himself, Itumbi.
Pesa ya roho, sabuni ya roho ni pesa. Kwa hivyo,
exactly.
I think the problem, that's where it starts. When I look at the distribution of the money from this now, I came with a lot of receipts that just like Tim. So in 2019, Kenya collected 92 million distributable income, 92,992,000. The amount that was distributed, the artists were paid 13 million. That's 19%. The law says 70%.
Exactly. So it doesn't make sense. Collect 92 million. You're supposed to give out 70%, 30% back on operation. But now you don't even give out, you give out less than 30% and you're supposed to earn, like you are eating everything plus some care plus everything plus, like it makes sense. And this makes me so hungry. Sababu nikiangalia the system inaanza from the politics, inaanza na to the leader who have to put in some corruption in a drip down. And trust me, as a creative, it affects your pockets. And sababu we know most of the equipments tuna import. Hakuna company Kenya inatengeneza instruments and such stuff za production, so we tend to import it. Kuna taxation, kuna your product afika aje Kenya, kuna bado delivery and everything. So at the end of the day, it's so costly to fanya mziki, alafu at the end of the day hatuwezi account for the money which we've made out of the music. At least kama ingekuwa inaenda kwa economy tungesema yeah, because get this clear, give an artist 100,000 today, I spent almost 40,000 on some bullshit. Now that money now gonna circulate around the economy. Like in Kenya, politicians ndio, I guess, wasanii. Let's get it.
Yeah. 2020, 48 million was collected.
48 million
was circulated. Now, in that 2020, it's that high because there are no audit reports. So that tells you something. That figure is questionable. 2021, 48 million was collected. Only 5 million was distributed. In 2022, 58 million was collected. Only 5 million again was distributed. 2023, 61 million collected, 6 million distributed. 2024, 86 million collected, only 11 million, that's 12.8, was distributed. And I have now that data into specifics. At one point, I think you've mentioned MCSK here collected 108 million and only distributed 2 million. So the thing is, the issue is not talent. The issue is not talent in Kenya. Talent is in...
This is a lot of money. 2020, according to Pavlisk audit 2020 collected around 47 mic and 27% set aside not paid. 2021 collected around 45 mic, 12% set aside not paid. 2022 collected 53 million. Manisha, we are consuming our content. So I want to say that ni wa Kenya consume their own content until you want to consume other music. Yeah, we do that, but at the same time we consume ours. So where it does iko wapi? Someone has it. And hizi do zinakolektiwa wapi? Because I need now to wachanua. Hizi do zinakolektiwa from various sources. I have to research it and get it clear. Let me see. I think nilikuwa nimeandika somewhere. Yeah. Nakolektiwa from TVs, radios, matatu, supermarkets, hospitals, cyber and movie shops, clubs, shows, road shows, and political rallies. If you can remember, there was a time kulikuwa na those scandals that MCSK, they used to go to certain places and wana raid, wanachukua everything sababu you didn't pay for the license ya play the Kenyan music around. That was supposed to be done, but now on a more efficient and transparent way, not just using purpose and harass the listeners and the customers, because those are our customers. If a customer anajua ati nikisikiza ngoma ya Wate, I'm going to be bullied by the police and the MCSK, they're not going to listen to my track. So at the end of the day, lazima tuangalie relationship between the listeners and the creatives at the end of the day. So because these are a lot of money, it's ours. So on the same case, kuna some solution walitoa hapa which kwangu it wasn't making sense at all. We'll go around wanaongelea kuhusu how the solution when tuta come through nayo ya ku solve this problem ya MCSK and the rest of the CMOs. So waliongelea about eCitizen, and I'm not sure. You can tell me on the comment, do you think is the right move or hapa tutapibiwa tena? Sababu now at least with the MCSK we know the office, we can get them. But now ikifika ni eCitizen ndio imepotea, because don't forget eCitizen imekuwa na scandals of losing billions and millions of money. So how are we supposed to trust this system? That's a very big question. How are we supposed to trust this system? Now our creatives, our creativity. For instance, in US states, ESCAP, BMI, and all other PROs, mostly they are private entities, and they have created a certain system that whereby every private company enye ni PROs wanajaribu kutafuta new clients by providing good services. If you have a good services, you have more artists, more royalties, more money. But now on Itumbi and the government, they want it now to be handled by the eCitizen. How is it going to work? Where is the competition? Because once kuna monopoly on something, we know how it's going to run. Itakuwa kama KPLC, itakuwa kama which other thing imekuwa monopolized in Kenya, exactly. I'll just use KPLC because that's what yatumbua sisi kama producers, because kwa time unaamka asubuhi hakuna steam and you're like, what the fuck is going on? So tusikize, I want to understand eCitizen, how will it work? Let's get it.
Before we deal with all our problems of internal CMOs, and the problem is that we need to do a bit more work. I want to imagine first, before we go to the defending bit.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to defend. There's nothing to defend.
Yeah.
There's nothing to defend.
Yeah. Do you imagine that's a reality?
I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
Kenyans consume their music. In fact, all the studies I've looked at, and I'll share some with you, Kenyans consume their music. What we don't do is some people don't pay. Let me give you an example. And unfortunately, I'm also in that system. One of the examples is the political parties in Kenya. All the political rallies, you not miss Kenyan music.
Exactly. And shout out to Sauti Sol. Sauti Sol will make it clear last time. Alisema you don't use our songs on political rallies, because at the end of the day, we need to kuangalia this on so many sides. For instance, mimi naimbia wa Kenya, I'm a music artist who sing love songs and inspiration songs, but now you play my song on your rally. What does that say about fans wangu when unasikiza which are against you? Because we can never be on one basket, all of us. So what does that say about my art? Because sisi control what the fan will think about it. Anasikia maybe anasikia ngoma yangu kwa rally ya UDA and be like, oh, watalipwa, alikula do, watalifanya hii. And yet basically it was just business. But now they don't even pay for them. That's when I say my politics affect everything. It doesn't matter how small.
The law doesn't even, by the way, in terms of tariffs, there is no tariff for political parties on what they should pay. So, and I can go to very many other sectors that have a problem with it. I mean, I've had a discussion with supermarkets without mentioning the names. I mean, a supermarket tells you, I have a branch in every county. So what should be my tariff for payment? So there's no problem about consuming our music. That even our films, by the way, there's no problem absolutely about consuming them. The problem is just the structure.
So if the structure is wrong, see, how about we get rid of the CMOs and we invite other CMOs which can do much better job. Si kuwekwa government, because I'm against this privatization of our stuff in Kenya, but about this one has been happening, and that's what's inaniuma sana, because all over the world it's private, it's not owned by the government. And kwa eCitizenship, because do you know, once you make kwa eCitizenship, now you have my bank records, now you have my contacts record, and you have my tax record. So that's something which I feel supposed to be personal, so that I maneuver out. And most of the artists don't have financial literacy. Now that is going to affect us a lot on this perspective here, citizenship. Sabusa, do I take that as a policy, as a profit, as a salary, as what? Like how many percent is going to be taxed? A lot of, okay, what about ISRC codes? Itakuwa inaplacewa hapo ndani ya citizenship or what? Like there's a lot of loopholes. And so I think we'll go direct to that guy. Remember the guy niliwapointia nikwambia, that guy, you need to talk about him. I think we'll go to that guy and listen to what he had to say, because he has a lot of bull.
Thank you very much, Eric and team. My name is Richard. I'm the acting CEO of Music Corporate of Kenya. It's unfortunate that Dennis is referring to, I believe, some people's criminal enterprise, and yet there's nothing tangible yet to support that or substantiate that allegation. I believe the discussion today was about money in the music industry. And the reason we are here today is to put this thing into proper context. Ngemu here mentioned something. You started off by saying that we started off with tapes and we moved on to CDs and all that. And in that process, we find that musicians were losing every single step of the way. And the reason being that in Kenyan industry, how music, CDs or cassettes, then they were being pirated, but the government was not taking any action to arrest.
Now they're blaming the government. So who's to be blamed? Where is our money? To bet the government, okay, we don't give a F about what's going on right now, come our side, but the amount of money which you've collected, where are they? Where is the amount? Where are the records? Because hii ina matter sana, because Kenya tuzikuwa tunaendelea, but every fucking time tuna find mwizi alafu tunasema ni mwizi alafu we move on. That's some bullshit. They need to be accounted, like they need each and every cent to be credited back to the artists.
Or contain that exercise. Moving on, it got to a point where by now we are at this stage whereby the royalties that the major source of money is being focused on as royalties from the CMOs, which is not correct. In the music business, the main source of royalties or main source of revenue for musicians is performance.
Yeah, atukatai performance, and if you're not performing, you're not eating. But now the world has changed. Naweza amua niekelee show yangu pale kwa YouTube na nipige performance yangu fiti sana, and nikuwa na around 10,000 subscribers ama 10,000 views or 1 million views. Those are somehow publishing rights. So basically nimetumia my audio and nikaekelea kwa another perspective ya video, and I'm performing the tracks. Now we need a proper channel and proper instruction on how to claim those royalties. But nowadays, kupata show is not that easy like kitambo. Like you'll get a free show, you'll get, most of the time wanasema wanakupea exposure, which I don't understand. You have YouTube, you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have Facebook. That should be your platform right now. But now on that perspective, let's to run this shit as if we run industry around 2 or 3. We need to go and see exactly what's going on.
After the over 500,000 from MCSK as royalties. Okay?
Give us his record. So
it can be confirmed.
He can confirm.
Yes. So as in over a period of time, even Game was on good royalties from MCSK. That time we were working in an environment whereby we were getting support, proper support from government.
What is proper support?
Proper support is when we need enforcement. Okay? Because way back, you could not be able to get.
Do you remember nikwambia about those time when MCSK they used to go around to movie shops and they collect your stuff? Now this is what this guy is talking about. Anasema walinyimwa walinyimwa makarao wa kutembea na wao, and no pun intended, but at the end of the day tufaa tuangalie, yeah, there was a time which unko na karao and you got the money. I think there was a time aliulizwa let me get that question.
Supported. Okay, but what they have done is that they've encouraged us. We raised a concern about revenue that they generated. Yes. When you go to those developed countries, they telcos, skis and all that, they pay CMOs, those royalties to distribute. When you have that kind of source of revenue.
About that one, I didn't know about Skiza tunes, because kitambo, what I used to know is that Skiza tunes, what kwa mfano you register your song in Skiza tune, and now you get maybe say a shilling for listening. I don't know if they work, and if you get that 1 shilling, some inaenda kwa Safaricom, ingine inaenda kwa CMOs. Now CMOs they pay people, so utakwambia TV ilikuwa ni amount, Skiza tunes ilikuwa amount, but imenichanua because I think wali change that narrative.
Even not 70, even 80%, because those kind of revenues don't have a cost implication. When we have to go out to the field and come and visit you once, twice, 3 times, so that you can pay us, there's a cost element. When you need to have a police operation to ensure compliance, there's a cost element to it. So when we bring this attention of the regulator...
So how much is this cost? How much is this cost?
And the reason being that...
That's average, or is it 170?
Okay, that was...
Is it average or is it each? Because you are
collectively.
Collectively.
Hot soup.
Now, the reason being
Hot soup.
At that time, we were reliant on operations to generate that 205 million that we collected. And what we're telling them is this: broadcasters are not paying us what they're supposed to pay us. Collecting from broadcasters does not cost us anything. We just issue an invoice and...
The saying Aruka questions. Nana is just jumping around. I don't like this character at all. I don't like the way he looks like. I don't like the way he smiles. I don't like the way he talk. Sababu, ukiangalia the... Let's forget. Okay, how about the money which you've been given? How about that one? Sababu, you're not talking about that one. So how comes for 205 million, we collect 205 million, and you only give around 12 to 13 million? Where is the rest of the money? And mind you, I say on around almost 500,000 per month, so around that's 6 million every year. But we're unapata 500 every month. Apparently, we'll continue with this discussion because daily nitakuwa na channel on Mziki Masters kenye inafaa kufanyika na kenye haifai kufanyika in our industry, sababu politics affect everything. But now, for now, we'll let it there, sababu I need to go and research more about this eCitizenship and how it's going to... Oh, before that one, there was this guy alinipamba, and I was like, yeah, I was sad and happy at the same time. Akaitwa Hussein, shout out to you. And manze, Hussein amekapitia. Hussein, let's listen to Hussein.
Yeah. I'm an artist. So everything I've had.
Please hold the microphone close to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys again.
Yeah.
I'm Hussein.
Yes.
So as
a funny
everything
character.
I've had today, there's something that I'd like to say before everyone talks. So everything you're talking about here, it's something, most of it I've learned today.
Exactly. Awareness. And now that's where we go back to politics. Awareness ya mziki and royalties. Who's supposed to be the one giving out awareness kwa wasanii and creatives? Should it be Kekobo? Should it be MCSK? Because once there's no information, we can never trace back where the money is. Information is power. Na that's why wamekuwa kinyamazia, like unaingia kwa industry and you become like a member of industry, una record a lot, like 7 years plus, and you realize what the fuck, kumbe kuna wasefana, they've been collecting this and this and this and this, and they don't have to do it. So be information imekuwa ikilak sana on the music perspective, and I think pia kuna issue na your ministry, sababu mimi nimekuwa na against to combine those ministries of entertainment and sport, sababu it's in Kenya we tunasukuma sport sana than music, but we hatuoni potential ya mziki, and that's so sad sababu kuna so many creatives in Kenya. Hata nime lose my train of thought sababu damn.
Information, it's not in the ground where I come from. I'm an upcoming artist, and I've just learned about the money, all the shit is happening.
Man, he had to cuss. Lazima angefanya kitu kama hiyo sababu man, all this shit money, man.
I didn't know about it. That's when I'm knowing about it now. And I'm not myself. It's not me by myself. There are other people still in the ground. They just know they have to go to the studio. They make a song, and they just pray that something happens. Aito show. Like easy system, nyi ndo mnaziongelea mkiwa hapa. Kwa ground hakuna.
Kwa ground hakuna, and kwa ground kuna so many artists, so many dope talented artists, like everyone mwenye akosai juu kwa game alitoka ground. So why don't you start educating from kwa ground? Tuache hizi stories za sijui lazima uamuke kwanza then you'll figure out later. It doesn't work unless hautaki kuomoka. Unless utaki kuomoka, don't plan it. But come on, kuomoka, at the end of the day we need this information, and we need as soon as possible on public domains.
Education that's putting this information out there.
So unajua CMO hapa. Hizi stories zote.
Yeah, like me, I just know distro.
That's so sad.
You just have to apply for distro.
Exactly. Even wasanii Kenya wana run, and that's why we are not having it. Posting track eka kwa distro kid, eka kwa let me say Instagram, WhatsApp, and weke kwa wherever, all those stores. That's just a recipe for disaster, because at the end of the day, after that guidance of how do you guide your IP, how do you guide your intellectual property, hakuna your education. And that's one thing yenye inatushindia Tanzania, their currency is super low compared to ours. Nigeria is low compared to ours, but I don't understand why their producers are balling, their artists are balling, and everyone around the music industry, and I feel the ripple effect. Why not us? Tuko na well-connected internet compared to Tanzania, compared to Uganda, compared to Nigeria. Like, we have a lot to do in internet, but at the end of the day, money is collected, but it never reaches the artist's pocket. And there's that gap and that big chunk of tycoons katikati, which we need to address this shit as soon as possible. Because as a person like me, I don't do anything. That's what I've been doing for the past 10 years. I produce music, I make music, I mix and master music. I get my royalties from distribution and other PROs. Kuna other international PROs which we're going to discuss next time on another different topic, so that you kuna other options which you can be balling and not depending on this system which are not working on benefiting your creative journey.
You pay for yearly. You just and you just wait. Maybe you wake up one day, you are trending, and
you see, there's a lot of maybes. There are a lot of maybes. It's not supposed to become about maybes. It's that, are you good in doing music? You need to have the proper channels of getting back your royalties and your hard work, because it's, at the end of the day, it's investment. They don't know how hard it is. At the end of the day, taking your money outside of the pocket, outside of your strained budget, and just pay for this something you're not going to eat it. Easy food, easy chakula, but at the end of the day, I'm spending money on it, but I'm not getting anything back. Inasema nini? Hiyo si biashara. Hiyo si biashara. And now when it's frustrating is that when I'm doing exactly the same thing which I see other artists are doing outside there, but now the reflecting part of money now it's become different. Mimi najiangalia pa, I have a few thousand, and nikiangalia huko nje people are having millions of money. So where is the gap, and how can we get the money back? Sababu at the end of the day, this money belongs to the creatives. And once niwaambiaje, creative akipata leo 100,000, you use almost 40% on some junk stuff. Those junk stuff ina promote economy sana, because we're going to spend it. Exactly. That's why on 2020 corona, president had to give out those disbursement ya dough. I'll give out the artists, because they knew once they give out dough to the artist, they're going to buy out some stuff, pay this, buy stuff, and that's how the money circulates inside the economy. And it's so discouraging that our artists wanaumia, our producers wanaumia, and there's no platform to talk to them. That's why tell a friend to tell another friend, manze akuje hapa kwa Mziki Masters, where we're going to discuss everything about music, toka kwa music production, music mastering, music mixing, music business, which is very big important part, because they say ilachakua talent, ilachakua hobby. Right now is something which we're going to live with. This is our life. This is the life we chose. So tell a producer, tell another producer, manze, I like, I share, I subscribe, so that we can be discussing. And shout out to LJF. LJF, manze, is our first comment. Ayekelea pale, that's our first comment tumepata kwa hii channel. Shout out to LJF, manze, that's a very dope DJ. I'll be shouting to all those people wanaangalia comments, first 10 comments. I'll be reading them out, and we solve those problems and we discuss them, so that we learn and relearn. So for now, I'll be done, but we'll be back, because already na chicken make up around let's say that's almost 1 hour 15 minutes, but we'll have another chunks of stuff when tutaongelea about, sababu kuna stories za black box, kuna stories za how much is the stream kwa TV, na kuna stories za let me say international CMOs, which we're going to discuss it in future. So tell a producer, tell another producer that in Mziki Masters, where we learn and relearn. Like, share, subscribe. Our Mziki Masters.